and welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How are you doing, Tina?
I'm a little bit tired today, but I'm doing all right. How are you?
I hear you. I'm also tired.
Yeah, we threw a big bridal shower yesterday for my cousin, so my house is a mess, and I feel like I'm 90 today, but we had a good time.
Ooh, you had a shindig.
We had a pretty big shindig,
Nice,
and it poured
nice.
like a mother yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
And it was super cold, so we had heaters and everything, but I don't know, that ache from being on cement, cold cement is, I don't know, starting to affect this body of mine.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works.
Right.
You know, as we get older, everything changes. It's been cold, mostly for Southern California. Where I live, we had snow yesterday.
Yeah, we didn't have snow, but we had a shit ton of rain.
Yeah, it's been raining.
I have not seen rain like that in a long time.
Yeah, I'd heard somewhere on the news or somewhere I read that like all the lakes are like almost to capacity.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's how much rain we've had. And
you know, we haven't seen that in probably 30 years.
Yeah, long time. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. Which I guess is good because maybe if it's going to head across the United States, maybe like Havasu will get it. Because I know that like Lake Havasu is like way, 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 way below. So maybe that'll help.
Yeah. I hope it does.
Yes, I agree. So before we get started, as always, let's say check our socials, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And you can hear us everywhere you can hear podcasts. Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. There's a bunch. Now there's even more. I put them on our website that you can go to. If you can click the link off of Facebook. There's some new ones that they got added. So I added them to the tree so you can click on those.
Nice.
You can pretty much hear us anywhere podcasts are. It's pretty cool.
Well, there you go.
I totally agree. There you go. So we were talking off the air before we started. And of course, like some things were overly ahead of the game. And today we're not, because I think we're just didn't know what to talk about. Actually, we have lots of things to talk about, but we have to pick them. So
we had to see how we felt about it. Yeah.
Over the next month, it will definitely be a little more ahead of the game because we're going to have to be. Because March is coming. And this week, we thought we'd talk another friend of mine through a list of things because I keep asking people, hey, what do you want to hear about? And she said body image in your 40s. But I said, how about body image over 40? Because not all of us are in our 40s anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's obviously as you get older, things change. Like you don't lose weight quick enough, and how you're supposed to look is still in your head from your 20s and your 30s. You know what I mean? So, and then you throw the social aspect on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like to me, I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, look, the social thing is such bullshit because none of that is real. And I don't mean just pictures, just people. Like when people go, oh, well, this actress is in her late 40s and look at her. Yeah, that's her fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Her job is to get up in the morning and go to the gym.
So she probably has a plastic surgeon on speed dial.
That's true as well. But let's just say she's natural. I'll give some people the benefit of the doubt. The thing is that is your job. It's your job to look good. So part of that is that instead of like us who go to a job and then try to fit in the gym, that is her job. She gets up in the morning. She has someone who tells her how to eat, you know, mostly if they're working on a film, you know, so some of the things that I've heard some of these guys do, like Hugh Jackman's going to do Wolverine again. He's going to do it for Deadpool 3. The shit that guy goes through to do that part is out of control. Like he only eats chicken and broccoli all day long. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, that's it. That's all he eats.
This must be very gassy.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Farts galore. And then he's on this crazy workout program. Because I think Hugh Jackman's in his 50s now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
to do that part is insanely difficult for him because he knows that he has to really, 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 really work because his body isn't 20 years old anymore. You threw a 20-year-old kid into that part, he's going to bulk up quicker. He's going to hold muscle mass quicker. He's producing way more testosterone. So, as we get older, it's harder to keep up that body image. And
It is.
And I think our heads, because now look, we're even though we're in our 40s or 50s, wherever you are in that spectrum, you still want to look like you're in your 20s, right? That's like you said, that's why there's so many plastic surgeons out there that are changing people. And look, I'm all up for plastic surgery. I think it's an amazing thing if it helps your mental state along with your physical state.
Right.
I would never be one to say like, don't get this done, because I disagree with that. Someone I was with before had her boobs done, a tummy tuck, and liposuction in the same surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me.
That's exactly what it was too. It was ouchy. It was crazy. Because they
sounds
generally
kind of
don't.
Barbaric, to be honest with you.
and it's funny because they usually don't do that. Like they want to do them separately, generally. The two surgeries, the tummy tuck and the boob job, generally they want you to do as separate surgeries. At least then, maybe not now as much, because when she had it done, it was quite a few years ago. But I will say, she had 3 kids. She was just not happy. And she had really big boobs, and then she had a breast reduction, and then she lost 40 pounds. So then she even felt more like a boy. She was just like, I want boobs again. So
I don't understand reductions anyway, because to me, it's like everybody that I know that's had one, they have a breast reduction, they gain weight, and then their boobs are huge again. It's like, why did you put yourself through that? I don't understand it. Or they get them done so small that they look like a man. Like they don't have the same features a woman.
They lose the curves.
Yes.
Yeah. They go from a quote unquote feminine figure to looking more square.
Yeah. And I've always had big boobs, and, they talk about how your straps dig into your shoulders on the bras, and how, you have a lot of weight going forward and it's bad for your back. And I'm still not a believer in a reduction. And I work on my feet. So you have to make sure you stand up straight. You can't roll your shoulders. I mean, as a woman, you just shouldn't do that anyway. So you got to learn how to use proper posture to support whatever you have hanging in the front.
Right. I mean, I think, look, technology has obviously gotten better with the making of bras. There's a lot more you can do now. And obviously, look, could it be bad for your back? Probably. That's why.
It absolutely is. I mean, people get reductions for that reason all the time.
That's why she did, because in the beginning she was just like, I can't take it. So, but I understand, all these different reasons why she didn't do it. I don't think she did it for vanity. At least I don't. A tummy tuck, probably, but I think that was just more like, she didn't want to look at 3 kids worth of skin.
Oh, and I get it.
And at the time, like I didn't care. I didn't push it. Like it's like, okay, you do what you want, because you have to live inside that shell. Like I guess I'm one that thinks that's why I don't think plastic surgery is a big deal. It's like, do it. And I mean it for both men as well. If that's what you want, cool, dude, that's more power to you. I mean, I would probably do it if it was something that I felt was just had to be done. You know what I mean? Like I have a bad nose because I've been hit too many times, but I don't think I'd get a nose job per se. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all right with it.
You know, as you get older, nothing stays perfect. So even if you get the tummy tuck and a boob job, you still have a 50-year-old ass. You still have 50-year-old legs. You still have 50-year-old skin. Like where does it stop? I don't know. I don't know that plastic surgery is always the answer. There's things that need to be fixed. I get that. But I think we need to work on our perception of what beauty is and our perception of who we are and what we are and not what we look like. And I think that body image as we get older force feeds you that lesson. You know, you have to work on liking you and work on your personality. Like my personality is way better now than it was in my 20s, but my boobs were way better in my 20s, you know? So you have to,
Right.
you have to take the good with the bad. You have to, I don't know. I think growth is the answer and worrying about if you look perfect is, so it's just a losing battle. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something that you want to fix. Like I've lost a lot of weight in the last like 7 or 8 years. And now I have my grandmother's chin. It drives me crazy. And do I want to get that fixed? Absolutely. Will I get it fixed? Probably. But is that more it is for vanity's sake. Like, let's just be honest. But I don't want to look at my grandmother's chin.
Sure.
But
I know somebody who got that done too. Got the, oh yeah.
The gobble done.
Yeah. But, and again, that one, I don't think she needed it before, but after I saw it done, I was like, holy shit. Like it's immensely different. But what they have to do to you is crazy.
I don't want to hear that.
They cut little things behind your ears and then they pull things and they pull it back and then they suture it. So, but I will say, and like I said before, I don't think she needed it, but it was a huge change. Like, wow. Like at least in the beginning, obviously, because when you first see them, they do look different.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can understand it. I mean, our whole thing is just that though, as we start getting older, and I kind of agree with you. Look, beauty fades regardless. That's why you have to, find or be with somebody that you like their inside, because the inside is the only thing that's going to stay.
And if you work on your inside, you like yourself better. I mean, I like myself way better than I did when I was even 40. Like I went through a huge monumental change at 40 and I'm not the same person at all. And thank God I dropped everything about that because it doesn't serve me anymore. So to be through that and to understand that life is better now, it's good. But I think that every 10 years you kind of go through a different stage. And at 50, self-acceptance seems to be, at least in my theme of life, what is happening. And the happier I am and the more fun I'm having and the more I don't care, seems like the more I attract people to me. And I wish I had known that in my 20s. But in my 20s, what people were attracted to is not what it is in my 50s. So there's that too. That's
totally for sure. And I think there's a lot of different things too. Like, yes, you have to see yourself a certain way. Right. And let's say you're in a marriage, because I don't want to say like a dating relationship per se, but like a marriage relationship. A husband sees his wife a certain way, regardless of how she sees herself. Right. That's why like guys still like women, even in their 40s or 50s to dress, and I hate to say sexy, but dress
a little more risque.
Not risque, or just certain ways, like, whatever it is, whatever floats their boat. Like, let's say you like women in sundresses, but your wife doesn't like the way she looks in them. In his head, he still sees her as the same woman he married. Mm-hmm. And though she in the mirror doesn't, and that's where things are really hard, where the one person sees them as like, oh my God, you're this stunning, beautiful woman. And she sees herself as, I'm not. So that's where the confliction is. And yes, the person has to still think they're something or feel good about themselves to put that forward. So it might be like things working against each other, because there's nothing like, the guy might be like, oh, you look stunning today. And she's like, I mean, not really. So you're right. It's could be a constant thing where it's a hard thing. You have to accept yourself for who you are.
But on the other hand, if you stop with it, because I used to be one when my ex would say something to me, I'd be like, oh, you don't know what you're looking at. Like, look at this, look at that. And he was like, would you stop? If I'm seeing something, leave me alone. Like, it's just what it is. Mm-hmm. And just shut the fuck up. Like, I'm tired of hearing you. I can't say anything nice to you because you've already got something shitty coming out of your mouth. He didn't talk to me like that, by the way. I'm just paraphrasing, but true.
It's how it came out to you, though. Or how you could think it would come out. Mm-hmm.
Well, not how it came out beautifully, because he was really good at telling me things. But on the other hand, it was me. It was the crap in my head that I was letting run my agenda. Mm-hmm. And when he put that in my face a few times, I had to stop and say, look, like, whatever he's seen, he's looking through eyes that aren't damaged. He's looking through a personality that didn't have to go the way that I went, grow up the way I did. So I just kind of started accepting it. It took years and years of and faking it till you make it, like just saying thank you. And then he was like, whoa, you just said thank you. And I'm like, yeah, well, I still don't believe it, but thank you for saying so. Mm-hmm. And then it went to, yeah, I'm kind of feeling it today. And the transformation of just not being a dick to myself began to happen. And I'm so grateful and blessed that happened, because I've always had a weight problem. And when I was younger, it wasn't cute to be with a chunky girl. You know what I mean? It wasn't cute to be with somebody that was confident. Like, I didn't have the personality that, where girls were just in high school, they, guys flocked to him. That wasn't me. Mm-hmm. But I was always everybody's buddy. I was everybody's friend. I was the party starter. I had a great time. So instead of looking at what I was always looking at what I couldn't be or what I wasn't. And I think that as I've gotten older, I'm just like, I could be all of it and not give a shit. And when I got that I don't give a shit attitude, life got so much better. Yeah, I'm 50. Yeah, everything's starting to go. Yes, I'm dating. But you know what? I think that now, when I hear guys are like, I don't have a problem with your size. I don't have a problem with your height. And guys don't normally have a problem with a woman's height unless they're really short and they take it as, the woman's got one on them. But things that people had problems with then don't now. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful for that, because finally I'm in a place where I could just be me. And if I wanted to date somebody, it could be just because we're both liking each other, not for what I could give them or what I have or what I look like. It's a different time. And, mm-hmm. and I'm embracing that.
Yeah, I think that's how everyone should do it. Even if you're in your 20s. I mean, it's harder when you're in your 20s, because men are different in your 20s. Your mindset's different. I mean, shit, if I had known in my 20s what I know now, I would have been horrible. Like, you give me a little knowledge and I'll run with it, Right. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't know in my 20s what I could do like I can in my 50s, because I think my dad would have had a little bit of a problem with that. I do agree with you, though, that I think that times have definitely changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because of, I guess, things in society, popularity. I think Kim Kardashian has changed, obviously thicker girls, that they've made it more mainstream and acceptance. Because that was in the 80s, that was definitely not a thing. But I think, like you said, there's acceptance with everything now. There's always going to be your preference. There's always going to be a preference for whoever it is. So
yeah, everybody's got a type.
Everyone has
something they're attracted
like a preference. Like my preference is shorter girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and that's just who I am. It doesn't mean I wouldn't date a tall girl, but my preference, because I have. Mm-hmm. But my preference is I like little short girls, but that's only because I like to feel big.
You like to throw them around, tell the truth.
Or I like to throw them around, but yeah. but I also like to just feel big because I'm not like super tall. I'm 6 feet. I'm above average for men in this country. But which is funny because I sent you a video that we're gonna have to talk about all the averages. Man, the average height for a man is like 5'7".
That's insane.
Yeah, that's the average. So, when you start thinking like if you think that you're not above average, you're probably above average on a lot of things. Because and so I am. So but I like shorter girls, and that's just. And I always like shorter girls because then they can wear high heels and then I'm still taller than them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, would I date anyone? Of course, because I think it's more about who they are and personality than it is anything else. Because as much as you want that girl to be this doll, I also want the person that I have to wake up to every morning that's still the same person inside that, has no makeup on, hairs in a rat nest, and wears sweats most of the day. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. The reality is the person that you're dancing with in the kitchen is probably in sweats and socks.
Not me. I get dressed every day.
No, but I mean for that morning thing, like the whole thing of like, yes, dinner, you're probably not in sweats and socks dancing, but like a morning where you're just getting coffee together, you're changing things. So yes, the body image is way less for me than anything else. Sure. Everyone wants to be with who they find attractive, because if you're not saying that, I think there's a tad bit of a fib, right? But if you're
not attracted to somebody, you wouldn't be with them to begin with.
Yeah, there has to be some attraction, obviously, physical attraction. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, I think that there has to be way more, brain connection. I want to be able to talk to someone every day and have long conversations. Yeah. Because that means way more to me. Now, I need to be. I
agree.
I need to be, I want to have that.
Cranially stimulated.
Yeah. If I'm not being mentally stimulated, there's a lot of pretty women out there that couldn't say shit if they had a mouthful of it. Ew. So to me, I want someone who, sure, she's stunning or pretty in my own eyes. And maybe she's not pretty to the rest of the world. Who gives two shits? Mm-hmm. She's pretty in my eyes. That's all that matters. But I still want that stimulation. So, but it's hard because society tells these women, regardless of age, you need to look this way or you're not going to be attractive. So it's scary because like you work in a business that's close to, hair is one thing, but like, look, guys and women are two totally different beasts. I don't have to worry about my makeup every morning, how my eyelashes look, if they're real or not, my eyebrows getting done because I have horrible ones. So like women have this way higher threshold of, I got to put on makeup every day. I have to put on my false lashes, have to get my nails painted and look pretty. My eyebrows need to be done. And so we've put women mostly in this way far outreaching thing. Now,
I
the
think
flip
women
side,
put themselves in that situation.
yes, but I think that that's a societal thing, but no different than men who, I think most men think they have to have a six pack.
And they normally carry it under their arm.
Yes, that's probably true. But, and that's why they have the beer gut to go along with it.
But they still got their six pack.
Yeah. So like, and I think that's part of that. Look, I think no man wants to look in the mirror and not look good, but we're changing, and you're having problems losing weight now and whatever that is. And I just think that the stress of life, it makes it harder to get to the gym if you're married and have kids and you're raising people and you're doing this and you're doing that. That's
stress also makes it to where you can't lose weight.
Oh yeah. And in the last 2.5 years have been very stressful.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any better because now the economy is shitty. So I can see how it's got to be a pressure on people to, want to look good and try to look good. It's got to be pressing regardless of age. But I think 40s and 50s, because now look at these people who are now single again. Maybe you went through a divorce and now you're out and about and you're dating again. So now it's this whole thing of like, because I that's what bothers me about dating. The whole thing of presentation. You might present yourself in this nice wrapped package. And I'm not talking about either of us, but just society in general. And then you go out to dinner, you have a nice shirt on, you have some pants on, you're doing this, you have a great dress on, blah, blah, blah. But as you start realizing who that person really is, you're going to fool yourself. I've went on a date before where I was running really late and I was going to meet somebody and I'm like, look, I'm just going to show up how I am. I literally went in shorts and a t-shirt.
That doesn't surprise me.
and this girl was kind of shocked. She's like, oh, and I was like, what? I told you I was. She's like, oh, I didn't know you were sick. I go, look, this is me. You want me to, I can shine up the fucking outside really nice, but this is who I am. This is how I'm going to look 75% of the time. And
how'd the date go?
The tacos were really good.
Oh, it
wasn't bad, huh? But it was a timeout. We talked and had tacos and I went my way and she went hers.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that it was bad, but the point of that is that you have to look at the reality of who people are long run. That's what I'm saying. I heard a guy one time tell me, he goes, you want to go out on the best first date ever? Take the woman camping where she can't shower. And if she can, she's going and putting the quarters in the machine, showering, coming back, hair wet, no makeup. You're wearing things that you are probably going to either be keeping you really warm, or if you're camping during the summertime where you're, trying to keep cool, and
you're going to see the real you. You're going to see the real person. Them. Yeah.
And I was like, that's absolutely brilliant, because you're going to see somebody who has to deal with the reality of not being in their normal circumstances of life, and to me, that's the real thing. I love when people kind of talk shit and will say like someone sends you a selfie of them and they're like, oh, I look like shit today because I don't have makeup on. I'm like, okay. Like I go, you understand that I find you beautiful regardless if you have makeup on or if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone sent me.
If somebody took me on a first date camping, I think I would like kill it.
Yeah,
because I know how to put a tent up. I won't say pitch one because that just leaves things for different.
Nothing like pitching a tent.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I was a Girl Scout for 10 years, so I could put the tents up. I could cook over an open fire. I could deal with I love flip flops, so that's just I'm cool in that too. Like I'm fun to take camping. That would, damn, if people did that, I'd have all kinds of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's more raw. It's a more raw thing.
You have to be more yourself. You can't put on airs when you're camping. You just can't.
Well, and you're going to find yourself where you're, picking up wood off the ground and getting dirty and whatever. And I'm not to say then that there's not other dates like that. But what I'm trying to say is that you're probably going to find the real person.
That would be a good one.
Because if you can because guys, we're visual people. I mean, we're all visual people, but men are very visual. And I think if you can find that girl super attractive with no makeup on, and there are some, there's women who with absolutely no makeup on at all look absolutely stunning. And to the point where like they really don't even have to wear it. And there's many out there. And I think part of that is you're finding that raw people. And the same thing, the guy who comes out of the tent, who's, hair sideways and rubbing his eyes and got his sweats on and, barely conscious but has toothbrush in his mouth and getting ready to do his shit for the day. Those are the qualities that we're looking for. So it's more quality based than it is visual based. I had someone send me a picture one time, a selfie of themselves in a mirror. And it was like, just woke up, had like shorts on and a tank top. And she was like, "Are you sure you want this?" And in my head, I remember texting back like, "Yep, that's exactly what I want." And I think that it probably shocked him. Like, oh, it's like, yeah, you understand that it's that I want to be with this person, not the
look of the day.
Well, not the picture that you sent that's, doctored up on whatever app we're using. It's like, that those are the bigger things in life. So I think that when it comes to this body image, we're all kind of, it's the gun that's to all of our heads, right? That, try to look better, try to do this, try to do that. And yes, like for health reasons, I'm totally down for that. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. Be healthy. And if you can be at whatever you feel like and you're healthy and you're not dying, awesome. But also don't kill yourself to be something that is just on a magazine cover that I can probably Photoshop in my house in about 20 minutes.
Well, and that's the thing. Most of these pictures of these women that everybody's trying to keep up with, everything is Photoshopped. Everything is Photoshopped. It's not, that's a thing. You talk about the filters. I freaking hate filters. I don't put filters on my phone. If I took a picture, that's the one I'm going to use. I'm not going to doctor it up. I'm not going to change everything around. Like it doesn't, first of all, I don't have time for that. I don't give a shit. Cause like, I'm not setting myself up for failure. You're going to see what I look like. And if you like it, fine. And if you don't, I don't give a fuck. Like it is who I am. So I have friends that will always do that. I'm like, why do you put the filters on? It doesn't even look like you. I have one friend that, she's Asian. And when she puts the filter on that she uses, she doesn't even look Asian. I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't even look like you anymore. Yeah. I like you. I like your look, not this one that you're putting on all your social media. Like, come on, be you.
I agree. I mean, I'll play devil's advocate because I'm a photographer and I've shot lots of girls and I've doctored a lot of pictures. But I will say this is that I don't doctor bodies. So for me, doctoring makeup is different. that's really all I do. If I don't change people's physical parts. So I don't mess with people's eyes, nose, none of that stuff. And I can do all that. I can stretch your neck. I can do all kinds of crazy shit. I usually only soften people up. So basically make them look like they had really, really, really good makeup.
Okay.
And I think that that's the fair thing to do. And I've still had people go like, oh, that doesn't look like me. And I'm like, sure it does. You just don't see yourself like this. I shot a friend of mine's wife one time. And I had a makeup girl there for her. And so when you take pictures in front of big strobe lights, you have to do heavy, heavy, heavy makeup. Like to the point where like, she was like, I look like a prostitute. Literally, those were the words that came out of her mouth. And I was like, yes, you would if you were walking around all night in makeup like that. I go,
but when you take pictures, you lose 40% of the color.
Yeah. I go, these lights are going to blow your makeup out. So I'm going to have, so I took a bunch of, I was messing with my lights and bringing light down, blah, blah, blah. And I was showing her some of the pictures on my camera. And even she was like, oh yeah, that doesn't look bad. And I was like, no, because these lights they're just bright and this is what they're going to do. And I think that so in today's society where you're right, everything's on a filter and those filters manipulate more than just your skin. They manipulate everything. So yeah, there is something to that. Someone sent me a selfie the other day and I even said something to her. I was like, man, do you ever fucking age? And she's like, yeah, I age. Hold on. And then she sent me one without the filter on. And then I went, damn, do you ever age? And she was like, yeah. And I go, sure, your skin is softer, but I go, your physical features haven't changed. Like you still look, the same you did 5 years ago. Like, there's a lot to that. But the society standard is horrible. And I think that we're not helping it any, as we get older, that we're trying to keep up with this societal thing of like, you have to be a size, whatever. I don't even know I know the average, I think right now in the United States is like a 14, which for women, I have no clue what that is. From the standpoint of like to, equate it to other people, but I'm going to assume that like Kim Kardashian's probably like a 4, probably 6.
I don't know. I can't stand the Kardashians, so I don't even look at them. Like when I see them, it's an instant turn away. Like I feel like they make me dumb. Like they're just people that suck the intelligence out of your brain if you even look at them. So
because everything's just about beauty. There's nothing to them.
I have no idea how to watch it.
I also think they're probably really smart from a business standpoint.
Not really.
Oh, man.
Somebody's got their businesses handled, but I wouldn't say they're smart at all.
Well, street smart and book smart are two totally different things for sure. But
I think they're known for their smart.
No, they're known for their look. I mean, and that's part of it. And I don't even know how old she is. I don't think she's 40 yet. I don't think any of them are in their 40s. They're in their 30s. I couldn't either. But so how do you think that we fix this? That do we look at the body image over 40 and just kind of go, okay, this is the reality? Or do we keep pushing this narrative of you have to look a certain way until you drop dead?
Look, I think you always have to put your best foot forward. Even during COVID, I did my hair and my makeup and got dressed every day. And I was going through a divorce and my ex was locked in his office and I was in the other part of the house and I wasn't seeing anybody. There was nothing to do or see. And yet I still did that because that's who I am. I'm not one to do the whole sweats and not brush their teeth all day. I have friends that do that. I think it's disgusting. That's not me. I get up, I get dressed. I believe that you need to be prepared for your day no matter what it brings. So put your clothes on. I just feel comfortable doing that. But I think that as society, we need to start working on our insides, because our outsides aren't so bad. It's our insides that are just crap these days. And that's where I think that we're doing ourselves a disservice, because if we're happier, better people, we're not judging what other people are looking like. We're being happy and we're doing our own thing. And it allows for everybody to be happy and do their own thing too.
I'll agree with that. And I think from the standpoint of the man's part, you know, as we get older, you know, the body image thing is going to be prevalent regardless. That society has fixed that in our heads. That's why older men still look at 25-year-old girls, because you're looking at just the outside. You're just looking, it's just a shell. Well,
that's what your eyes are for. Your eyes are to look. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you want to take home and have babies with. Like, unless you're younger, that maybe, or if you're somebody trying to prove something, I get that. But let's face it, I don't want to hang out with a 20-year-old. I don't want to go home with a 20-year-old. I have nothing in common with a 20-year-old. I don't even like them.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing in common.
No, but I'll look at them all day. I'm fine with that.
That's also the thing too, is that, like, I think we have to understand that looking and what you want may be two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like artwork, right? You know, we all look at different artwork different ways. It's no different. I can look at a 20-year-old fit model and go, yeah, good on the eyes. But I can also look right back at the person that I'm with, who may not look like her, and go, you're way more stunning than her, because you do have a good outside, but your inside is way better.
Yeah.
So there's a balance to that. And I think that we need to look at the reality of a body image over 40, is that if you're looking for just that, you're going to fail every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would just say, because there's no winning, because at some point, unless you're just going to trade in, everyone's going to be a fucking car. You're going to get to a certain time and just go, okay, you now look like this way. I'm going to trade you in for another 40-year-old or another 40, no matter how old you get. There's no winning. You're going to lose every time.
Betty White was always on social media and everybody loved her, but everybody loved her because of her attitude and her sense of humor and the way she carried herself. And she was 99 when she died, and she was all over everybody's social media. And I thought to myself, that's the ticket right there. Like, she looked 99. She did her best. She did her hair up. She put on her makeup. She did what she needed to do. But that inner light that she had is what everybody was attracted to. And I've always told my friends, I'm like, check it out. If Betty White could do it, all of us could do it. Like, just don't be a bitch and try to find the happy in everything, and really be okay with yourself and where you're at. And then I think people are attracted to you without fail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And without the body image.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, it's long-term. It's irrelevant. Beauty is going to fade, period. I want the person that, again, I can talk to daily. Physical
beauty fades.
Yeah.
Beauty
physical beauty
fade.
fades. Yeah. Well, physical beauty fades, obviously.
Yeah.
Your inner beauty can fade, but generally who you are is who you are, mostly in your 40s. I think in your 40s, once you hit your 40s, you're pretty much who you are. You're going to change for someone. They're not going to change you.
I don't think you change for anybody, really. You have to, if anything, it's for yourself. It's for whatever you're going through internally.
No, but I think, I disagree with that. I think people will change for people. because there's a reason to change. Like, and I mean, it could be small change. It doesn't have to be this life altering change, but I think you'll find yourself more apt to do things that you might not have done for other people because that person makes you want to do them. You see what I mean? Like, I don't think that's, I mean, maybe changing, but I don't think you can change another human being. We are who we are. So,
No.
and as a man, I'm a fixer, and that can be a problem. So, you know, trying to fix people is not a good thing because it's never going to work. And it's no different than trying to drive somebody to change their outside features. You can't drive someone to do that. You can't be standing next to somebody every single day going, you need to be skinny. You need to be skinny. You need to be skinny.
Well, they can, but if they're standing around somebody like me, they're going to get fucked out of me. So
no, that's true. and don't get me wrong. Like, I think there's a lot to that, but yes, there's people who I'm sure do that to this day and will do that until the end of time but those are generally narcissistic, manipulating people.
Yeah, I don't really deal with somebody like that.
No, well, but I think the broader scope of the people, you know, we got to use the bell curve. It can't always be just us because you're a totally different human being than most people. But I think that there's a lot of people out there that might have people pushing them to have this body image. Like, you have to be this way. And it's like, for one, get out of those relationships. But secondly, you know, remember that your outer beauty to someone else is probably tenfold and you just don't know it.
Yeah, I get that because I have friends and I look at them and I'm like, gosh, you're just so pretty. And they don't get it. They don't see it. They don't want to see it. And I've literally had to say, look, don't tell me I'm a liar again. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. Just shut the fuck up and say thank you. And even if you don't believe it, just say thank you. I don't want to hear your negative crap on what I just said. It wasn't even a compliment. I was just telling you what I'm seeing. So shut up and just receive it. Just take it in. Like, we take in all the negative that people say. We get pissed off when people honk at us. We take that offensively. Like, you could at least stand there. And when somebody says, wow, you really look good today, just say thank you and shut up. Like, right. I don't want to hear you cut yourself apart. I don't have time for that. I regret the fact I even said you looked cute today. Like, right. Don't. Well, and poor guys, you guys have to put up with that all the time. I don't know how all of you aren't as men just saying, shut up, because it's annoying. Yeah.
I'm sure that there's a lot of people in their own heads that just like, oh, fuck again. But, you know, and again, I think sadly, a lot of this body image is, you know, trauma from the past. People, one bad boyfriend can fuck you up for a long, long time. Which is sad. Well, when
you get rid of that boyfriend, get rid of all that shit that he brought with him too. Because
I mean, let's hope.
In all honesty, that's all it is. Like, people, especially in relationships, people will say things to keep you in a certain light or keep you in a certain way so that it makes them comfortable, so that it makes it easy for them to do what they're doing. So if you're not comfortable, you shouldn't be listening to that crap. I don't know. I've always been very fortunate. The boyfriends that I've been with, although not perfect, they never like put that crap on me because I don't know. We were too busy having fun. I was like, I don't want to deal with this. If you don't like the way I look, get out of my car and I'm going to go and do what I'm going to do. And you could go home and hate on me because I need to live. This is who I am, and this is what we're going to do. And either get in and let's go or stay home and fuck yourself. Because I can't change who I am. Like, I really can't. I've worked my whole life trying to be better, do better, be skinnier, be prettier. We all do. Women spend too much time doing that shit. Plus, I'm in the beauty industry. Yeah, every hair color, every makeup, every whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what made me the most attractive was not giving a shit about all that.
Well, there you have it. I think we should leave it on that.
We do that a lot.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes you say something very prolific, and I think that's how we should end
Thank
that.
you.
Just yeah. Do your thing. And
I am.
and trust me. and trust me, to all the people out there, both men and women, there is someone for you.
I agree.
Don't take that body
There's
image
more
bullshit.
than someone. There's a shit ton of people. Don't even worry about it.
That is correct. Well, all right. And remember, hit our social medias, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, and listen to us on all those favorite spots: Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, and so many more. And
Yes.
yeah, this is an opinion show, so don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesdays, and we'll be right here with bells on, or cats on our chairs, one of the two.
Cats on the chair. Yeah.
Cats on the chairs. All right, darling. We'll see you.
Have a good week.
Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.